I believe you all have must learn something new or must have remembered all the full forms which were discussed in the first part. So here is the second part for you all. So this was the last full form we talked about in the first part of full forms video. Now moving ahead to the second part of full forms. The first one is WT, that stands for weapon training. It is done in NCC as well as in armed forces. Next is RPF. You all must have heard or you must have seen in the railway station. These police force, it stands for Railway Protection Force. Now next is CRPF. It is Central Reserve Police Force. Inside these, the other different organization are there like BSF, Border Security Force, ITBP, Indo-Tibetan Border Police. Next is NSG. You all must have heard about this also. That is National Security Guards. One thing I would like to tell you in this is you all must remember the exact or correct spellings of the full forms, because most of the time we have seen that when we write the full form we are not well aware of the correct spelling of that. We know what it stands for, but because of wrong spelling our marks are deducted. So along with the full form like a national security guards, we should be aware of how to write security or guards. Next is NSA. It stands for National Security Advisor. Next full form we have is NASA. It is National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Next full form is IB, that is Intelligence Bureau. Next we have is CBI. It stands for Central Bureau of Investigation. Next full form is CISF. It is Central Industrial Security Force. Next full form we have is of RAW, that is Research and Analysis Wing. Next is SSC, Short Service Commission, and same as Permanent Commission. There is one more, that is PC we called it, that is Permanent Commission. Next is SSB. It has two meanings. The first one is Sashastra Seema Bal. It is a part of armed forces, and the second one is Service Selection Board. Service Selection Board is for the SSB we call it. It is for assessing or testing the candidates, those who apply for officers rank in armed forces. Next is CDS. CDS, earlier it was only Combined Defense Service, which is an exam conducted by UPSC to join the armed forces or other services. But later on, recently, we have a new meaning of CDS, that is Chief of Defense Staff. So for your information, Chief of Defense Staff will be the head of all the three armed forces, that is Army, Navy and Air Force. So the first Chief of Defense Staff we have is our former General, that is Bipin Rawat. Next is COAS. It stands for Chief of Army Staff. It is of rank General. Next is CNS, Chief of Naval Staff. It is of rank Admiral. Next is CAS, Chief of Air Staff, of rank Air Chief Marshal. Next full form we have is of CO. It is also called as commissioned officers. Those officers who are commissioned in the armed forces are called CO, or also it has a meaning of commanding officer of rank. It is a commanding officer is basically a rank of colonel. Next is NCO. It stands for non-commissioned officers. Next JCO. It stands for junior commissioned officers. PVC. Now we'll talk about the gallantry awards and other awards. So first one is PVC. It stands for Param Veer Chakra. Next MVC. It stands for Mahavir Chakra. For your information, these are aligned in their rank wise also. So the highest was PVC, then MVC, then next we have is VC. It stands for Veer Chakra. Next AC, it's not air conditioner, it's is ASHOK Chakra. Next full form we have is KC, it is called Kirti Chakra. Next SC, it stands for Shaurya Chakra. Next full form is of SM, it stands for Sena Medal. If you talk about in the armed forces, it also stands for Subedar Major. Next full form is of PVSM, it is Param Vishisht Seva Medal. Next we have AVSM, Ati Vishisht Seva Medal. Next VSM, it stands for Vishisht Seva Medal. In this also you should keep in mind that the spelling of Vishisht, you must remember this. Next is SYSM, it stands for Sarvottam Yuddh Seva Medal. Somewhere spelling is SEVA, it will be Seva Medal. UYSM, next full form is, it stands for Uttam Yuddh Seva Medal. Next we have is YSM, it is Yuddh Seva Medal. Next is stands AAD, this is the part of armed forces, that is Army Air Defense. AAC, Army Aviation Corps. Next is AMC, it stands for Army Medical Corps. Next we have is ASC, it stands for Army Service Corps. Earlier it was called as Army Supply Corps, but later it was changed to Army Service Corps. Next we have AOC, that is Army Ordinance Corps. Next is EME, Corps of Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. EME stands for Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. Next is RVC, Remount and Veterinary Corps. Next full form CMP, Corps of Military Police. Next we have DSC, it stands for Defense Security Corps. Next is JAG, we call it JAG, that is Judge Advocate General. These are the judges in the armed forces. Next is MCF, it stands for Marine Commando Force. Thank you for being connected with me, and stay tuned to update yourself with the knowledge regarding NCC as well as armed forces. And yes, must not forget to subscribe if you haven't subscribed till now, and don't forget to press the bell icon. Thank you. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.